So today we're going to go over the answers to page 162 on substitution, and then we're going to do elimination, which I think that you will find it to be much easier. But I definitely need your full attention. So let's look at number 13. Again, this is page 162. We're looking at number 13. All right, so here we have 7y equals negative 14.
I thought it was negative 30. No, it's writing the problem down.
Negative 3x plus 4y equals 1. Now remember, I want to isolate a variable to the left side partially. In this case, I can go ahead and tell you what y is if I start with the first one, right, Olivia? So 7y equals a negative 14. I'm going to divide both sides by 7. Y is going to equal what?
2.
Negative 2. Okay? So then I take the value of y and I substitute it into this equation. And then I'm going to have a negative 3x plus 4 times, what's the value of y? Negative 2 equals 1. Negative 3x plus negative 8 equals 1. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. Equals 9 divided by negative 3 divided by negative 3. X is going to equal a negative 3. So it's a negative 3, negative 2. That is your answer. Okay? How did you guys do on that?
I skipped that one because I get a fraction on 1.
I'm going to go ahead and work number 14.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
Number 14 is 6x equals a negative 18. 6x minus y equals a negative 14. Now, I also have an equation here to start with that is the easiest, which is 6x equals a negative 18. I can automatically divide both sides by 6. And x equals what?
3.
Negative?
Yes.
Negative 3. I can take this x, substitute it here, and solve for y. 6 times negative 3 minus y equals negative 14. 3 times 6 is 18. That's a negative. Add 18. Add 18. Negative y equals 4. And then you're going to divide it by a negative 1, and y is going to equal negative 4. That's your answer. Okay?
Oh, I got it right. I put the negative 3 on the y.
All right, number 15. Number 15, x plus y equals 1. 5x minus y equals 5. Now, automatically I see that I'm going to start with the top equation because I can subtract that y and have x equals 1 minus y. If you had y plus the negative 1, that would be the same thing. Or negative y plus 1 would be the same thing, but we're going to leave it as is. Then I'm going to substitute this x in, which tells me I'm going to go 5 times 1 minus y minus y equals 5. 5 times 1 is 5 minus 5y minus y equals 5. I'm going to subtract 5. Subtract 5 gives you 0. I'm going to combine negative 6y, but when I go to divide, I'm going to get what? Y is going to equal what? 0, because you can't divide a negative 6 divided, or 0 divided by negative 6, or vice versa. It's going to be 0, okay? So then I'm going to substitute my y in now, and you can use either equation. So I'm going to go x plus y is 0 equals 1. so now x equals what? 1. Okay, so number 16 is, the x is 3, the y is 4. Number 17, x is 14, y is 2. Number 18, you did get a fraction. X is 4 over 3, y is 1. Number 19, x is 2, y is 7. Number 20, x is negative 7, and y is negative 3. And finally, number 21, x is 3, and y is 3. All right, so systems by elimination. Now, here's the steps. Look at the top or at your page. Step 1, you're going to choose a variable to eliminate. You're going to have x or y's. You're going to choose one to eliminate. Step 2, you're going to eliminate the variable by adding or subtracting one equation from the other. Now, this is probably going to be nonsense to you right now, but when we go to do the steps, Miss Bailey, hopefully it'll come through. Number 3, solve the new equation. Number 4, substitute your answer to find the variable. Let's look at our example right here. Everybody see that? So, notice that you have 2y plus 7, everybody looking up here? Plus 7x equals a negative 5. Then I have 5y minus 7x equals 12. Okay, so they tell us here we want to look for any inverses. In other words, look at this with me. Are those inverses or opposites?
Yes.
Positive 7x and a negative 7x. Those are your inverses. Okay? So my variable here that I've chosen to eliminate is what, Miss Olivia? What variable am I going to be able to eliminate? X. Okay? So now look how it's lined up right here. Look right here how it's lined up. 2y plus 7x equals negative 5. 5y minus 7x equals 12. It's kind of set up like an addition problem, right? Or subtraction. Depends on what you're going to do. And I have also found that these are opposites, or they're inverts of each other. Okay? Are you paying attention? Yes, I hope. Okay, so I can cancel these out, right? Now, what is 2y plus 5y? 7y. They're positives, so right? What is a negative 5 plus a positive 12? Positive 7. Now, I am going to divide both sides by 7. So y equals what? 1. There's my answer for y. Was that easy? Now I'm going to substitute this y into either one of the equations from above. Okay, but I'm just going to use the one they give me here. Because I'm solving for what now? X. So I'm going to substitute this one right here. And now I'm going to have 2 times 1 is 2 plus 7x equals a negative 5. So I got to move this 2 to the other side through its inverse operation. And I'm going to get 7x equals, what's it equal? What's a positive 5 minus 2? I'm sorry, a negative 5 plus a negative 2 would be a negative 7 because you're adding 2 negatives. I'm sorry.
Why are you adding?
Because when you have 2 numbers and when you're adding 2 negatives, you add and keep the sign.
I know, but I thought we were subtracting because we subtracted from these 2.
Actually, it should have been this 7 right here. My bad. This 2, you can't see? Do you need to move up closer? Let me do this again, okay? So I have a negative 2. Yeah, I'm going to move this negative 2 to the other side because the inverse operation of a positive 2 is a negative 2. So then I'm going to have 7x left on this side. So a negative 5 plus a negative 2 is what?
It's
Negative 7. That's right.
I thought we subtracted.
Well, when you have two negatives, you add and keep the sign. If you had a negative 5 and a positive 2, you would subtract.
I know, but like the 2 before it's 2 plus 7x equals negative 5.
Right, so I have to get this 2 to the other side.
Yeah, with
The inverse operation, which is a negative 2.
so wouldn't it be subtraction?
No, because this right here is a negative 5 and a negative 2. If you have a negative 5 minus 2, what would you do? Yep. Yep. So if you need to stop and rewrite it like that, then you can. That helps. Divide both sides by 7. X equals a negative 1. Okay?
Why do you have 2x?
I don't know why they have 2 X's there, but anyway, I didn't make this up. I just purchased it. So, because I think it's good to use. Anyway, so we know that Y is 1 and X is a negative 1. And that's why I wrote, did see where I wrote the parentheses at the bottom for you to put X and Y, because that's where I want you to put it. Okay? Now, this is just the beginning of this, so let's practice some more. Let's do our other example here, okay? Now, so I'm looking at these two equations right here. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and write them and look at it that way. So if I look at this equation, do I have any inverses? Okay, what do I have that are inverses?
4y and negative.
Yep, 4y and a negative 4y. So I can eliminate that already. So my variable to eliminate is what? Y. Now, that brings me back down here to where we're working this out. So now, positive 3 plus a negative 4 is what? Negative 1x. Positive 5 plus a negative 16 is what? Yeah, positive 15, yeah. Negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 1. X equals what? Positive 1. Now I'm going to take that x and I'm going to substitute it in to either one of the equations. They've chosen this one, so I'm going to put my 1 there. 4y plus 3 times 1 is 3. Brings it on down here. I need to move this 3 over to the other side because I want to isolate my variable. So minus 3, minus 3. So 4y equals 15 plus a negative 3 is what? You're gonna subtract and it's going to be 12. Very good. Divide both sides by 4. Y equals what? 3. There you have it. X is 1, Y is 3. All right, so and actually this is problem 2 from page 31, just in case you wanted to know. All right, so make sure I have it written down correctly. 5x minus 3y equals 36. 2x plus 3y equals a negative 15. Now, do I have any inverses here that I can use to eliminate? Yep. Possible. There we go. So now 5x plus 2x, because they're both positives, is what? 7x equals 36 plus a negative 15 is what? 21. Is it positive or negative? Positive. X equals 3. Now, I can take this x, and what is my value of 3, Karis? My value of x? I'm tongue-tied today and telling you the answer. So I can use that 3 and substitute it into either one of the equations to solve for y. I'm just going to go with the top. So 5 times 3, because I'm substituting x, is 3y equals 36. 15 minus 3y equals 36. Minus 15, minus 15. Negative 3y equals 21. Positive or negative? Positive. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Y equals a negative 7. So it's 3 negative 7. That's how you write your answer. What do you guys think? Sorry, that was from page 166. I think I've lost it today. You will notice that this equation still is written in the correct form, meaning you have your x's here and you have your y's here, okay? So you don't have to reorder those. There will be some times that you will have to, but not on this particular lesson. Now, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line here because I'm going to take a look. Do I have any opposites? Now, what can I multiply by one of those equations to get an opposite or an inverse? Could I multiply? You'd have to multiply both. And if I multiply the top one, and I could either go with x or y. Let's just go with x here on the end. Let's say I want to multiply this by a 2, and I'm going to use that as a positive 2. I'm going to multiply the bottom by a negative 3. Do you see why? Okay, let's do this. So 2, and then you're going to multiply everything on the inside. So 2 times 3x is 6x, plus 2 times 2y is 4y, equals 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times 3y would be a negative 9y. Negative 3 times 5 would be a negative 15. Now you're ready to eliminate. That's still easier, you think? Yep, you just have to think a little bit about what you can multiply to get opposites. Now, 4y plus a negative 9y is what? Negative 5y. Negative 8 plus a negative 15. Okay, negative 23. You're going to end in a fraction here, and that's okay. Divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. So y equals positive 23 over 5 because they cancel, correct? Now, this. All right, so now I'm going to take the value of y and put it into either equation. I'm just going to choose the top one. So I don't know what x is, so 3x plus 2 times 23 over 5 equals negative 4. Bring down my 3x. If I multiply 2 over 1 times 23 over 5, what's that going to equal?
46.
Yep, 46 over 5 equals a negative 4. This is no fun. Now I'm going to bring this over through its inverse operation. So I'm just going to subtract 46 over 5 and subtract 46 over 5. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring down my 3x, and I'm going to solve, and we'll work this out over here. And when I do that, I have to have a common denominator, because when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you always have to have a common denominator. So you got negative 4 over 1 minus 46 over 5. So I'm going to multiply this equation by 5 to get a common denominator, which is 20. So now I have a negative 20 plus a negative 46, which equals a negative 66 over 5. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. See why I told you guys before, you got to remember those fractions. So if you have a negative 66 over 5, and you're going to divide it by 3, remember what you do when you're dividing fractions? KFC. Keep the first fraction. flip the second fraction, and change the sign. And then you're going to cancel, which is 22 over 5. Good job, Duke. And that's your answer. That wasn't the best one to practice for that, but that's okay. We'll practice more.
So x is 22 over 5 and y is 23 over 5.
Yep. Okay, so now let's see what... Now, this is number 4. I'm from page 166, and I am looking for opposites here, or inverses. Do I have any inverses, Miss Abby? What are they, dear? Yep. Cancel. So now I have a 3y plus 5y, which is what? 8y equals 8. Divide by 8, divide by 8. What does y equal? 1. Positive 1. Isn't that easy? Huh? They're both positive. Yeah. So now I'm going to take that y, substitute it into either equation. I'm just going to go with the first one. 2x plus 3 times 1 equals 5. 2x plus 3 equals 5. 2x, let's minus 3, getting ahead of myself here. 2x equals positive 2 divided by 2 divided by 2, x equals 1. So 1 and 1 is your answer. What'd you think of that? You guys ready to try some of these, or you want me to do one more?
One more.
Okay, let's go for 6 in your book. Good, this is a good one. Number 6. All right, so this is a negative 5x plus y equals 1. 3x minus y, this is not an easy one. I mean, this is an easy one. Do I have any opposites here? How about positive y and negative y? Absolutely. Those will cancel. So now I have a negative 5x plus a positive 3x, which gives me what? Negative 2x equals 1 plus a negative 3 gives you a negative 2. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2, x equals 1. Take my value of x, substitute it back into either equation. I'm just going to go with the top one. So negative 5 times positive 1 plus y equals 1. Negative 5 plus y equals 1. Plus 5, y equals 6. So what do you think? Okay, all right, let's practice some here. Let's do 1 through 13 odd on page 166. 1 through 13 odd.